Hey guys, Cruz here. Today I thought I'd make a video about something I saw happen when I played ranked the other day. So I was queuing up with this Darkborn list because I think it's really good at the moment, and when the game popped, I see this guy. And he's being played by the player Torque, who can give me a run for my money any day. So I am expecting to meet the list with decent range pressure, 2 or 3 units of Dwarf Warriors, and a Gyrocopter. And the list you can see on the screen is what he ran. Now, this is a problem for me because he can go toe-to-toe with me when it comes to shooting, except his units are just naturally more tankier than mine. So these are the thoughts I have while setting up for deployment, and in the end I choose to deploy in a manner where I can quickly get my ranged units into the cover of trees, so maybe I'll have an edge in an eventual ranged battle. And then I see his deployment, and I think, oh, I'm gonna win this one. He has deployed half his army on the other side of the map, and he's playing Dwarf. That Dwarf Warrior is going to spend the rest of the match just walking over to where I am. Yes, he's in a good position to take the right objective, but in the meanwhile, it's 2 against 1 on the entire left flank. So let's take a look at this game and see if I'm able to exploit my positional advantage. We both start with moving our infantry forward, and he somewhat unfortunately leaves a flank open with his berserkers, which isn't the best thing to do, considering the fact that they cannot flee, since they have frenzy. He does, however, luck out on the shot from the bolt thrower. Right? He shoots with his cannon, gets 1, and now I'm like, what should I do? Well, I guess I can either shoot the berserkers, but I already have a flank on them, or these dwarves. So, doing what Darkborn do, I hex, and I shoot if I have a 3+. And that's a pretty bad roll, but at least I get 3 dwarves. Well, at least it's something. Now, I also have some ranged in my Darkborn riders, and it's not the first time that they suddenly deliver when the crossbowman has failed. Of course, this is a bit of a clunky position, but as you can see, his rifleman and his copter has not even been able to shoot back because they were so far to the right corner. Now, as the second turn starts, it is a little bit of a risk to side charge the berserkers, but then again, it's too good of a chance not to take it. Like, if they run, that's what we do. Position-wise, you can see that his gunners are really out of position. His the warriors on the far right, as the cannon shoots at my crossbowmen, the warriors on the far right barely managed to get onto the objective, and I still have range superiority over on the left side, and I get very lucky there and take out the rest of that Dwarf Warrior troop. Alright. I'm moving my Dread Guard into position to make it harder for him to just get a charge onto my bolt thrower, and to be able to flank the berserkers if they don't know. And this is where you can see the pressure is getting to him, because he's like, oh no, if the berserkers hold, I have to stop this flank. So he just positions himself in between to stop me from doing that, and to be able to get some shots off the crossbows, which are still in a forest. So, yeah, it's looking so comfortable here. I guess the downside is that I didn't get to bolt thrower his copter. Now, his rangers still have a move left, and they will get some shots off this round. Let's see what value they can get. Oh, he gets 2 6s. Alright, he got 1. But I saved one of these, so as expected, I guess. Now the question is, what do I do with my riders? Alright, if I place myself properly, I should be able to flea bait, or not fall to a flea bait and still make him run. So that's what I do. And I also get some shots off, because he is out of cover. But there you can see the Dwarven Resilience coming in again. Alright, The chariot goes in. He gets a bit unlucky with the saves. And I also get a bit unlucky with the saves. But he rolls an 8. And look at that. Suddenly there's berserkers fleeing in his face. Now his gunners are even more stuck. So, and all of this chaos over on the right, it's all falling apart just because of that one deployment. Like, if he had had his units more to the center, he wouldn't be stuck behind fleeing berserkers there. He would have been able to get shots off the first round. Like, maybe you could have one unit that could make its way over to the right objective, but it's just... it's painful to see deploy that just dictates the game to this degree. Now this game looks really in the bag for me, to the point where I'm shooting the cannon with crossbows. And now, because I had such an advantage on the left, I have gained control of the left objective as well, meaning that the objective bleed that he put so much resources into no longer matters. Alright, the copter is down. I get real lucky here. And these berserkers flee again. So yeah, it's looking pretty grim. I have lost 0 units. He has lost 2.5 units. And here he gets his first chance at a proper shot, because I'm not able to charge away with my Darkborn Riders. And he does get a 2. That does do 2. Now, looking at like how the deployment should be done, especially if you are the less mobile faction, just deploy more in the center. If you have less shooting, deploy more in the center. You can gamble to one side, but if you have to walk across the entire map, it is gonna be very, very rough. So I do recommend, think like, how can I lose when you deploy? Like, just figure out what you really should do, and that's usually good enough to save you from some unnecessary losses. Of course, you don't have to listen to this advice. I will gladly take some free wins now and again. So, to sum it up, don't overcommit on one flank, but also don't undercommit. If you send just one lone unit, he can easily be disposed of just 2 of your opponent's units. Alright, I hope this was helpful. Other than that, I can report that there is a lot of dwarven holds in ranked at the moment. Apparently it is sort of like a counter meta to all the ranged we saw the last weeks, because dwarves will win in a pure ranged battle, and once those dwarven warriors get to your ranged units, they will beat them up. So if you're struggling with a lot of dwarves in ranked at the moment, my advice to you is to take advantage of those short legs of theirs and play some mobile units. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, like and subscribe, and maybe I'll make some more.